Oh man, it's super important, man. My son probably calls every one of my friends uncle something, whoever it is, right? And I got plenty of videos, and my friend that just passed, one of my best friends, Darius High. He just felt like he would probably post my son on Instagram and Facebook more than I do.
Yeah.
Like, I would just be scrolling, be like, come on, dog, like, my son, you out here, trying to get likes and stuff off my son. Yeah, come on, like, but we're a close group, same group of friends.
Welcome to another episode of Just My Baby Daddy Podcast. It's your boy AJ, the bougie baby daddy Eli. And who we have here today, we talk about fatherhood, we talk about developing young men. We have someone here today that does it every day. Hopewell basketball coach, Jada Goodson.
Yep.
Oh man, he gave you a better intro. He talked to you better than he talked to me.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I like
man.
him.
I appreciate it.
Wow. Wow.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate you being here, man.
No doubt,
for real.
man. No doubt.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna jump straight into it and get you the first question we ask everybody.
Okay.
What does it mean to you to be a father?
Everything. Man, it was definitely unexpected, but you go from nervous until as soon as you see him, it's like, oh man, that's me. So it means everything to be a father, man. It's probably, it is the best job in the world. And once you see your child, man, like nothing else really matters, man. You said I coach basketball, man. We had a tough game the other day, and I was pissed. Got home, saw him in the bed, he was already asleep, and whole mood changed, man.
Wow.
Whole mood changed. Yep.
Wow.
True story. Yep.
That's kind of actually deep. So when you say everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
What encompasses everything for you?
He's my peace. One thing I say about kids is, man, it's like you love being around them, and then you love being away from them.
Yes,
that's true. You love being around them and you love being away from them. So it's kind of a weird dynamic. But yeah, that's my everything, man. My up, my down, my happy, my sad, all of that, man, all of that.
Nah. So when you sit back, what are some of those times where you sit back and realize, I'm a father.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how bad my day is, how excited I am to get away.
Yeah.
But to get back, like you were just explaining about that tough loss, and you come in, it kind of soothes
you. Yeah. I mean, so when you're in the mix, you don't move every day like saying, hey, I'm a father. But like I said, man, once you see him, no matter what you're going through, right? And your child really don't care what you're going through. You know what I mean? They don't care what you're going through. Like, and I have to explain that sometimes at school. It's like, going to school at schools these days are dangerous. I hate to say it like that, but it's dangerous. But and I always tell the kids, like, my son doesn't care. He doesn't care about me covering this class or disciplining you, and he cares about come home. You know what I mean? And that's all that matters to him. He sees me. And that's the most important thing to me.
Wow.
Yep.
So did you have the idea that, I want to be a father ahead of time, or was it something that just clicked when you found out you was having a child?
It's never the right time. I mean, people always say I'm not ready to have a child, not ready to have. I don't think I was ready. But like I said, as soon as you see him, you become ready. Yeah. And but it wasn't planned. It wasn't a planned thing. But again, man, I wouldn't take it back for the world. Yeah, I wouldn't take it back for the world, man.
I do got a question though. You said the first time you seen him, but when was the first time you really had that feeling like, I'm a dad? You know what I mean? Sometimes it takes a little working for that. But
yeah, that's a good question. That's a great question, man.
We do this, man.
You asked some good questions.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. Like, man, I have to think on that. First time that I said it, wow, I'm a dad.
You said enough times, something will come to you.
What was the first time I said
we'll put
I'm
the little
a dad?
Jeopardy thing, like.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back to that one, man. Let me think about because that is like that moment. Like it's hard to pinpoint that moment. Man, I can say, man, when the lady was outside trying to show me how to put a car seat in the car. You know what I'm saying?
That's a real
you know, or you look in the back seat and you see a car seat in the back seat. Man, I can go on for days, man. The first time, you know, you changing the diaper, you're the only one there. And, you know, it's nobody else to change the diaper.
You know,
All of that. But it's so many moments. It's so many moments. But I don't know the first time I was like, wow. It had to be like when I saw him. Like, it was like, wow, this is mine. Like, you know, little ugly little dude. You know what I'm saying? Ugly little dude. Like he was ugly, man. But he came around. You know, he came around.
Look, I call when my daughter was born, I call her a space alien.
Yeah,
like, I did. She remind me to this day. Like I see a newborn picture. Like, hey, yo, you really did look like a little alien.
Yeah, man. You know, you hold them, man. They put them in your arms, and you like, you know, they pale for one. You know, they ain't got no color. And you know, what's the first thing we always do? Like, does it look like me? You know, does it look like his mom?
I mean,
like,
you know, complexion, you good.
Yeah, I mean,
I had problems. I was nervous. That little bright ass baby came out at first.
Yeah,
well, you ain't that dark. It's all right. Your shirt bright, but you ain't that dark.
Yeah, that was it. I think you know that first moment, if I had to pinpoint a moment, that was absolutely like life changing. You know what I'm saying? That was life changing for sure.
So as a father, when you realize those moments, right? And you realize, like, you know what, there is no going, you can't just put it back.
No,
right?
Right.
But when you do that self-inventory, self-reflection, what are some of the things that you as a man had to adjust or change or figure out along the way early on to become what you needed to become for your child?
And we all know, like, kids do change you. Kids do change you, and fast. Man, and I mean, Lajuan knows me, man, and you know, a couple of your guys know me from school, man. I was I'm gonna say I was wild, but man, I had a good time. You know what I mean? I had a good time in school. And we'll just say that. And you know, immediately, you know, you're living for something else. And so like I was mentioning before, you know, like being safe and you know, just being extra cautious. You know what I mean? I think that's one thing that he did. And then, you know, everything that you do is for your child. So it's like you know, financially, you want to be stable. So those things become more important. You know, you're just not living, you know, check to check. So now you're setting yourself up, and not only yourself, you're setting up for your child. So like everything you do is for him, or it's for your child. So I think that's mainly the difference, is that you're not living for yourself no more. You know, you're
taking the selfishness out.
Yeah. So the selfishness goes away, and you know, he goes to the forefront of everything. You know what I mean? So everything you do is for him. Like, yep.
So what was something that, yes, you change, yes, you have those things, but what was something as a father that was unexpected for you?
Something as a father that was unexpected.
That you had to deal with, that you had to experience, that you hadn't seen before, that you didn't plan for?
But man, I could like, seeing him go through life and learn things, you know, it's amazing. Cause like, you know, your kids, they surprise you every day. Yes. Like, you be like, man, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you did. But on the flip side, you know, seeing him experience like pain and fear and happiness, joy, all of that. I can, just the other day. So like, he's not feeling well right now. Right. And, he woke up throwing up. Like, and so like that's to us, like throwing up is throwing up, but you have to realize like he has no clue what's going on right now. Like he's looking at me with like all this fear in his face, like Daddy, like what the hell is going on right now? Like while he's talking, like he just and like he was just so scared. So it wasn't the fact that he was throwing, it was just the fear in his face. Like so
like you can't take it from him.
That helpless feeling as a parent, that's the worst.
Yeah, so you
absolute worst.
I'm like, yo, like, yeah, he's throwing up. But then I realized, like, yo, he doesn't know what this is. Like, you know, it's his first time it's ever happened to him. So, like, seeing that and, like, having to, like, console him and comfort him, like, hey, it's going to be all right. You know, you might have ate something bad. We're going to figure it out. But, like, yeah, just seeing him experience everything for the first time and learning new things. And those are some of the best moments, man. Like, I'll take that moment and make it a great moment, too. Like, it was... You know, we'll probably laugh about it down the road sometime, but like even that moment, like I enjoyed it. Like, I don't know if that's a bad thing to say, you know what I'm saying? Like I enjoyed being able to explain to him like what's going on and like, and comfort him. Like it's gonna be all right.
That's
you know
part
what
of
I'm
being present and active.
saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's those experiences, those moments that
Right.
I did my job.
I did. Yeah.
And
There you go.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what we ain't. That's what, as fathers, we really do. We are there.
Mm-hmm.
We can't take it away from you, but we will help you through it.
Help you through it, right?
And then laugh about it on the other side,
Yeah.
you know, depending on what the situation is.
Yeah.
But that's part of it.
And you know, as we get older, the situations do become more serious.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
But you building the foundation
Exactly.
now that they know
Right.
you're
right.
there.
I'm there. Yeah, absolutely. My son will tell you right now, man, my daddy can fix anything. He would tell you,
Oh,
like,
yeah, he gassing you up.
yeah, oh, he gassing you, yeah,
Everybody.
you know, and it could be something so small, like, yo, can you get this Lego? Can you pull these Legos apart?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
man.
so amazing.
Hold on,
Oh,
hold
my
on. Don't
God.
it feel good when you
Yeah.
do like some of them do be a little tough, but when I do it, like my
Nail
fingers
it.
might hurt, but yeah, I got that.
I got it. I did it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Yeah, so, you know, stuff like that, man. But yeah, he'll tell you that, man. My dad can fix anything. I heard him tell his friends that one day, man. So, you know, kind of felt
Well,
good.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I got it. You know, I got this. Yeah.
When you talk about comfort, that's not something as men that we feel as though we have to provide a lot of times. You know, emotional comfort, emotional support, that's just not necessarily something that, I'm not sure if you're raised, like a lot of people not raised with that.
Right.
So where did that come from? Is that something that you was raised with, where you came from a comforting family?
Man, good
or is
question.
it something that you feel as though that I may not have had, that I feel like I want to make sure I give to my children?
So, absolutely. So, you know, my father was, or my pops was, he was present. You know, he was present, but I'm gonna say he was present, but he wasn't like the best father, right? If that makes sense. So like he was present in my life, but he wasn't the best father. So I can't name 2 times that he said, you know, I love you, right? Like he told my brother one time that he loved him, and my brother called me like, yo, everything all right with daddy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is he like about to, is he about to go?
wild.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? But
That's
like,
the first response everybody says.
yeah, like,
Yeah,
hold on.
a lot of
like,
people say
he's
that.
Like, yo, daddy told me he loved me, man. Like, everything all right? Like, I'm like, so, and a lot of experience, a lot of things that he did, you know what I mean? Great dude, but, you know, I always say like my brother was like more like my father than my father was. Like, cause he taught me.
You sound like my brother.
Everything, you know what I'm saying?
My
He taught
brother
me
talking
everything.
to me.
Yeah, you know,
It's hard being the oldest hearing that, but hearing you talk about it, it kind of makes sense.
yeah, he taught me everything. Hell, he went to Fayetteville State, I went to Fayetteville State, you know, but he taught me damn near everything, right? And so looking back, I always think like, you know, I want to be better than that. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell him probably too much. Like, I love you. I tell him every day.
Yeah.
If I even say, guess what? He's gonna say, I love you. I'm like, yeah. So, and I probably kiss him way too damn much, but I'm gonna try to get, you know, all of them in before he thinks it's, you know, get off me. You know what I'm saying? So, but so yeah, those experiences that I had with my father, again, great dude, but you know, he didn't really teach me a lot. You know what I mean? So he was present, but he didn't really teach me a lot. He didn't say I love you a lot. Like I said, I can count on one hand, if that, how many times he said, or how many times, you know, he's kissed me on my forehead and stuff like that. That not to me sentimental. But,
Yeah.
you know, but yeah.
So when it comes to you, your parents, not necessarily just your parents and stuff, but when it comes to you learning how to be a father, where would you say you got that from?
I think I was pretty much self-taught. I think your kids kind of teach you how to be a father. You know, like you said, nobody's ready for that. But like that moment, it's just like, yo, it's something I have to do. So I don't know like where I learned how to be a father. It's just, I think the first thing is just love. You know what I mean? And everything, if everything comes out of love, I think, you know, everything else is just easy. You know what I
So
mean?
was there anyone else that you saw parenting? Like, it could have been from a distance that you saw, like my friend's dad, he took me in, did this. Or was there anything like that? Or
No, so for the most part, growing up, man, like my the closest men in my life were like my coaches. You know what I mean? Were my coaches, and so I saw how my coaches like handled their families. I remember sitting like my coach in high school. He was also my driver's ed teacher, and we went to his house one time, and I'm like, "Hey, you live like this? Like you got a nice house, you know, a couple cars, nice wife, couple kids." And you're a teacher, you know what I'm saying? And just seeing how he, you know, dealt with his family, how he went about his day-to-day life. But I don't think it's any one person that, you know, taught me how to be a father. We all see, you know, the TV shows and all that good stuff. But I think, man, if you have the ability to love and you're responsible, I think you'll do a good job, you know what I mean, for the most part. And it's trial and error.
I got one more thing to piggyback off of what you talked about with your father, because there's something that we've seen a lot and we hear a lot. But we also hear a lot of, while my dad wasn't necessarily the greatest dad, he's a totally different granddad.
Oh yeah.
Type of thing. So you have the same type of thing? And so with that, do you try to cultivate that relationship? How do you, because sometimes we had it before where someone was like, you know, I love the relationship that they have with my kids, but I'm like, damn, where's ours?
Where was that?
Not even where was it, but you build on it.
Yeah. So it's totally different. Like, you know, grandkids probably, they get away with everything, right? And you know, my pops was one of the most stern dudes. Is like, I call him like anal. Like, you know, you leave a wrapper on the counter or something like that, you know, like he's gonna blow a gasket. Like, I see the same things in me. Like now, it's like I understand where he's coming from. Like, yo, why, like, you expect me to pick this up? Like, why you?
Oh no, I do that
trash?
too.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you speaking.
Yeah, why you leave this on the counter? So I see a lot of the same things in me, but he's definitely totally different with my son, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Do you ever feel any resentment to that? Because you like, yo, I needed that, but you know.
No, not at all. Not at all. I love him to death, man. Like I said, because I grew up with a lot of guys who didn't have a father at all. Right. You know, so who didn't have a father at all. Like, and it wasn't that like he wasn't around or anything. If I called him, he's gonna answer. If I told him to come pick me up, he's coming. But it just wasn't offered like from him. Like,
it had to be requested.
Yeah, it had to be requested.
No, I feel you, because that's basically everything you're saying is pretty much what I experienced with my father. And down to the point where, like you were talking about, you kiss your son on the forehead, you hug him, you tell him I love you all the time. Sometimes we OD on it.
Right.
And hearing
too much, way too much.
My son, even if you get on him, he's gonna say, well, Daddy, I love you. To the point where, but when I sit back and look at it, yo, that's my son. But it touches me differently.
Right.
And so when did you realize you had that much love for another little being that's depending on you about everything, that I actually do have this to give? Because I didn't think I had it at first when I had my daughter. How did you realize, yo, I got this to give?
It just kind of happened. It just clicked. Like I said, if you have the ability to love, right? And then, you know, if you receive that love, like your kids love you unconditionally, like no matter what, you know what I'm saying? No matter what, they love you unconditionally. And so it's kind of easy, you know what I'm saying, to give that back. And then, you know, when you first see your child, it's that's one of the things that goes through your head is like, this dude depends on me for everything. Like, wow, like he's just so helpless, like eyes closed, hands up, gnawing on his fingers. Like, he has no clue. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how many times I've like saved his life. You know what I'm saying? Like
from himself.
From himself, yeah. Like literally, like
it could be
know
anything falling off
anything. Yeah, I've saved his life so many times already. Like, and so it's just one of those things, man. Like, if you're present and you got the ability to love, it's kind of like, it's easy. You know what I mean?
Present is a key thing. And so when you're talking about coaching that you do, and you're well known for that anyway, how do you see that in the kids that you coach? Can you tell the difference with the present and the non-present fathers?
When there's a father in your life.
Absolutely. You definitely can tell the difference. But at the same time, it's not like a like a consistent difference. Like, every kid without a present father doesn't act the same. You know, you might have a kid that doesn't have a father at home, but like, he's a straight A student, you know, very well mannered, respectful. And then, you know, you might have a kid that does have a father at home, and you know, I've seen kids talk to their pops like any kind of way. You know what I mean? So I've literally seen that, and I've seen kids talk to like me, or I've had a kid say something to me, and their pops are standing right there, and I'm looking at them like you gonna allow that? You know what I mean? So it's not consistent, but you can definitely tell the difference. And like, I got a one player. It's like I've never met his mom. You know what I'm saying? I've never, like, his dad does everything. So like, I respect him to the utmost. Like, he will take a break from work, pick him up from practice, go back to work, drop him off. Like, he does everything. And so, and that kid is his work ethic. I think he sees how much his dad like does for him and gives to him. So it makes him focus and want to do everything right now so he can give back to his dad. You know what I'm saying? So and that you'll see that a lot. Like kids are the ones with fathers in their lives, they have those conversations and they feel like they don't want to disappoint. They have somebody don't want to disappoint. Like it's the difference between making somebody mad and like disappointing them.
That hurts.
Yeah, the disappointment part is probably worse than somebody being mad. Like somebody say I'm disappointed in you. It's like, whew, dang, like I gotta get right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you definitely see that difference.
Because disappointment, you don't have to fuss with. Disappointment is something that's a look that you like. Ooh, that hurt.
It touch you a little bit. Yeah, it touch you a little bit. We and hopefully we all have somebody that we don't want to disappoint. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it might be your kids. It might be your kids. Yeah.
Got you.
So with that being the case, and you are coaching, how do you feel knowing that you're like a father figure to some of these kids? Is that added pressure to you? Because it's more than just wins and losses, especially at the age group that you're in high school. These are transitioning into becoming men.
Yeah. It is more pressure. It's definitely more pressure. But at the same time, like that's why I got into it, right? Like I told you before that most of them influential men in my life were my coaches, right? And so when it came down to decide like what I wanted to do, was like nobody knew like in college, like, that I loved basketball. Like I wasn't known for like basketball or anything, but when it came down to like deciding a major, like all of that played a factor, right? Like I'm gonna do this because I want to coach. So I'm gonna go get I'm gonna get double major. I'm gonna get a PE degree so I can go teach. Now I want to go teach and I want to be around kids, but what do I want to teach? Well, I love sports. So like, let's go do PE. And it kind of happened that way. But like, that's kind of why I got into it, man. And it's just like your kids, like you want to see your students excel too. Like that's one of the greatest feelings. They're like when they get an offer to go to college, or you see them break one of their goals, or man, all of that. That it's kind of the same joy that you get from with your own kids, man. Yeah.
Wow. So how are you able to balance that so that you're giving your all into these kids, but you still got to make sure you save enough of yourself to give to, I mean, I don't want to, I can say it, you probably can't say it, your most important child by far is your own child, right?
For sure.
So your main energy has to be there. How are you able to balance that both?
It's tough. Now that is tough. You try not to take work home with you. And your kids kind of help you out. Like I said, when you see them, nothing else really matters, but it is kind of tough balancing, especially when you're a coach and at the level that I'm coaching at. Like a bad game could definitely, now I'm going home cussing everybody out. You know what I'm saying? Like leave me alone, don't talk to me, da-da-da. So you do have those days, and it's tough to balance that. But again, like I think, me personally, I think like I'm a solid dude. So I care. You know what I'm saying? I care. So with that being said, it's kind of one and the same. And I don't want to see these guys fail, and I don't want to see my son fail. But you're right. Your most important is your own child. For sure. Yeah.
So when you sit back and talk about and think about all the kids that you've coached, that you've mentored, been some type of figure of importance to, what are some of the things that you take away from those relationships that you make sure that you instill into your repertoire as a father, to make sure that, I've seen this, but let me make sure that I give my son this to because of what you've experienced and what you've been through?
Yeah, so it's kind of like we was talking about earlier, seeing your kids learn something for the first time and experience something for the first time. So every time that something like that does come up, or I take it and then I try to take these experiences from school or any experience. That's the reason that we are parents, because we have the wisdom. Like they just don't know. We have that wisdom, and you have to expect to pass that on. And so I mean it's kind of natural. It's kind of a natural thing. Because we just being older, and like we're still learning, right?
Yep.
We're still learning from people that are older than us, and it's just a natural cycle of life, man. Like you learn something, pass it on, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Dope.
Well, speaking of which, I know you have your own little crew of friends, right? Speak to the importance of, and all of them have kids now.
Yeah.
Or pretty much
For the most
everybody
part,
have kids now, right? Speak on the importance of having that community type group there with you to raise kids, because when you're going through it, you need something to bounce something off of. Like, you can, if you're parenting together, co-parenting, whatever it is, you're not going to bounce that off that female that you're with.
No.
Right?
Right.
You gotta have that circle.
male,
Like we talk, we do this every week. So we have our conversations. Then when it's over, we have these conversations after. We get done. We end up being here for 2 hours just talking about stuff on parenting, different philosophies and skills. Speak to the importance of that, because I know I see y'all all together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We see one, you usually see everybody together. So speak on the importance of that.
Oh man, it's super important, man. My son probably calls every one of my friends uncle something, whoever it is, right? And I got plenty of videos, and my friend that just passed, one of my best friends, Darius High, he just he would probably post my son on Instagram and Facebook more than I do.
Yeah.
Like, I would just be scrolling, be like, come on, dog, like, you got my son, you out here, trying to get likes and stuff off my son. Yeah, come on, like, but like, yeah, like we're a close group. Same group of friends that I've had since first week of college, actually, at Vance Hall.
Oh, wow.
We were all at Vance Hall. They put a group of freshmen at Vance Hall with the upperclassmen, and those same guys are my guys to this day.
Yeah.
And they all have kids. I was probably the last one to have kids.
So you were running behind.
Yeah. I was a little bit late. I was probably the last one to have kids, and their kids the same. They call me Uncle Jerron, Uncle Jada. But it's very important to have those guys. Like just the other day, I got a baseball tee, baseball bat, and my son was outside playing, and I'm in the house doing something. I come outside, they done put the tee up. I got one friend pitching, one catching, and my son out there swinging.
Oh, wow.
Right. And that I recorded it. It's just one of those dope moments that he'll probably remember forever.
Wow.
And growing up and going forward, he knows he has, if something, God forbid, something ever happened to me, he knows he has those guys that he can, count on. And just like my friend D High that just passed, his kids know they can call on me for anything. And so it's one of those things that we that comes naturally again. Just because you care about your brother, right? You care about it, so naturally you're gonna care about their kids too. But it's definitely important to have that kind of community, though, for sure. Yep.
So when you having that group, having that I say support group, we all have it at some point. Hopefully,
Right.
Yep.
if you don't, you
Need one.
Right.
Or watch the show. Fuck it.
Don't listen to AJ. But
You're gonna lose views that way. You better listen to me. What is all this shit? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. We getting lost.
no, you
You
get
get
lost.
sidetracked in the
No,
the
it's,
sky.
it's got your brain. It's all right. We won't hold it against you. What's since you said you're the last one or close to the last one?
Yeah.
What's some of the best advice that you got from that circle?
Man, I wouldn't take no advice from those guys every day in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'd be crazy, man. Man. Oh man, nah. Man, my friends are wild, man. They were wild, man. And they're learning. They were learning just like I was learning. Well, I'm learning, but I guess you could look. Again, if they told me something, I probably wouldn't listen. But seeing them deal with their kids, you know what I'm saying, is a different story. So, let me see something that I witnessed or observed.
They just witness it. They ain't
They ain't say
mine
it.
would say strap up. That's the
I know. Yeah, that's
type of friend.
what I thought the answer was about to be.
Yeah,
Pull
strap
out.
up. Yeah, pull out. No,
Yeah.
man.
Timing bad.
They make jokes and stuff like, all right, now your life gonna change, like
Yeah.
And we always talk about the difference between having a little boy and a little girl.
That's a big difference.
That's
Jesus.
I would say that's what I've learned from them, or that they've told me.
All them got soft.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it
that a
changes
little
you.
girl changes you way totally different than a little boy. So I haven't been blessed with a little girl yet. Hopefully to have one day, man, because girls take care of their fathers. So my son, we watching TV.
They might dip out on you.
Yeah, not to get off subject, but like we watching TV, watching the basketball game, and he's like, "Daddy, is my game gonna be on the TV tomorrow?" I'm like, no, you're not gonna play basketball on TV tomorrow, but you know, one day you will. And he's like, I'm like, so you gonna buy your mama a big house? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna buy my mama a big house, right? And then I said, well, can Dad at least get a car? He was like, Daddy, you already got a car. I was like, whoa.
That's real though.
That's so real.
That sounds like something my son to
He's
say.
like, yo, you already got a car. Like, why you need another car for? Like, so I'm like, yeah, I need a little girl immediately. So, so yeah, that's what they say, man. That the little girls definitely change you, and you know, make you softer. But they also say they make you respect women more. And I think I have a lot. I do have a lot of respect for women, but that's what.
I'm glad you fixed that.
Yeah,
one.
you know, I
you were on your way down this road, but you pulled it back.
I do have a lot of respect for women, but they do say that it calms you down.
It makes you feel. It makes you feel guilty.
I'll tell you, it's true. It ain't instant.
Yeah.
So it's not instant. It definitely takes time.
Yeah, you got a little girl.
Speak to that.
What do you mean? Speak to what?
How the little girl changed you.
No, you talking about the not instant part.
Yeah, you know,
Growth doesn't happen overnight. Growth doesn't happen. I mean, it changes you because you start to think about like, I wouldn't want someone to do this to my daughter type of thing, right? Well, you always say, everyone says, well, this is somebody's daughter you're doing this to. Well, fuck it, I don't know their parents, so I ain't worried about it. But this is my daughter. So I see that and I'm like, all right, I can't be out here doing stuff like this because my daughter, she'll pick up the vibes and all this other type of stuff, and I just wouldn't want to do that.
So it just makes you move a little bit differently.
Completely differently. Completely differently. Because you don't want to be known as being out there as your dad was a Rolling Stone or all this other, you know what I mean? That type of shit. You just don't want it. You just don't want it.
That's actually an interesting point. And I ask myself this all the time. Do you want your son to be just like you?
I want him to be better. Better. Yeah, for sure, better. Now, I think I turned out pretty well. But I think I'm doing all right. But if he turned out to be like me, like as far as like, you know, personality, drive, those will be definitely great things. But I definitely want him to take what he's learned from me, look at me, and then go further, like push
put his own spin on it.
Yeah, so then hopefully my grandson is, you know, that dude, like, because, you know, his dad took it a step further, and then he takes it a step further. But I want him to be better than me, man. I want him to be better than me.
That's dope, because when I sit back and think about that all the time, I'm like, look, I want you to take all the great parts of me, but put your own spin on it to where you see my roots in you, but it's you. It's authentically you, but I had something to do with your development. Right. But I do got some bad parts I don't want you to have.
And I always say that I can't wait to the day that we can sit down and we can talk about like life, who I was. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like who I was. Like I'm gonna be completely honest.
That's a hard
I can't wait. Like I don't know how y'all feel about it.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? That right there is the difference between a son and a daughter.
Yeah,
because I swear to you, I don't really want to talk to my daughter about I wasn't alive until she born.
Yeah. Like if I had a daughter, we wouldn't have those conversations because you know a father is your daughter's first love, and like you always want to be seen in that light. But like with my son, it's like, nah, I want you to know who I am. You know what I'm saying? I want to give you like the real, because first it's hard growing up like as a black man, and so we're gonna get, you know,
gonna get deep.
Yeah, it's gonna get deep, but at the same time, I want you to know like exactly who I am and how I did it and what I'm doing and you know who I was, so it could kind of give you like a better perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you want him to know that you were that dude.
Yeah,
I still am that dude.
For sure.
But I gotta teach you how to be that dude even more.
I want you to know. Yeah.
You ain't gonna have to worry about that.
Yeah. You're right. I ain't gonna say nothing about it. You're right.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely have. I mean, even from the point like how I met his mom, how he was conceived, and you know all of that.
You going that far?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will. If he ever asks, like I've asked my mom before.
Yeah.
I've asked my mom. She couldn't pinpoint it. You know what I'm saying? But like because she was married and but she couldn't pinpoint. But I did ask. You know, I did ask like, you know, how was that? How did y'all meet? Like what was that like? What did y'all do? And what did y'all do? Did he go out to eat? Did you like, you know, all of that? I want to know all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like how did this go down? You know what I'm saying? And I can't wait to have that conversation.
So you're gonna really give him the game. For real.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be prepared. So you want to make sure that when he go out in the world, he know what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's no situation that's too big. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I get that too. I don't know if I want to tell my son everything though. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to tell him everything, because the problem is with telling people everything. Sometimes it seems as though you could glorify certain stuff, and that's not something that I necessarily want to do. Because certain stuff I've done in my past that I'm not saying I'm the proudest of.
Mm-hmm.
I had fun doing it while I was doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something that I know you should not carry yourself a certain way.
Mm.
So that's something that I juggle with and stuff like that. It's like, yo, I can show you how to get girls.
Oh,
But right, no, being serious, I can show you how to get girls. That don't mean you got to get every single one.
Yeah.
Right? You putting a notch under your belt, that's played out. It's hard.
Yeah.
And it's hard for you to have, because no one tells you. You think knocking down a bunch of chicks is what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Because all your friends who probably ain't even getting none at the time, acting like they are, and that's what they doing, right?
Yeah.
But yet that's all you hear, but you don't have that man in your ear to tell you like, yo, this could take you down the wrong road. So that type of stuff, I can have those conversations, but I don't know if I want to get too in it.
So like piggybacking off of that, it's like, yo, you tell them, right? But you're not telling them so that they follow in your footsteps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're telling them so that they're aware and they can make their own decision. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, take that information and they have that information. Like, I don't want to shelter them from anything. Like, because this world it's a cold world, as we all know. Like, it's a cold world, and it could get ugly real fast. But like when it comes, I want you to be like, oh yeah, my pops told me that.
Yeah.
Nah, we can't go over there.
Recall.
Yeah, like we can't go over there. Like, yeah, that's not what we want to do. And just so he can say, hey, yeah, my pops did that, but like, yeah, and I don't want to be like my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like I know him now. Like I said, we had these same conversations, but like I know I want to be better than him. I know I want to be a better father. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a better man. I want to teach my son everything. I want to be around. I want like all of that. So like I know who he was, but that don't make me want to be like him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm aware. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Wow. So speaking to laying that foundation,
Mm-hmm.
what's your approach to laying that foundation into the kids you coach too? Like, is your approach saying, well, I'm gonna give it to you, what you do with it is on you, or like, do you have to hold their hand? Like, how do you do that?
Now with those, I don't tell my players or my kids, they don't know me.
No,
Right.
I'm not talking.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the lessons that you, not you, because that's not
yeah,
them. That's
yeah,
your
no.
household thing.
Right.
But I'm just talking about the lessons, the experiences that may help them, because you see a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a little bit of game. Like, how do you approach that?
Do
they have to ask? Do you just offer it? Like, how do you do it?
So that you ear hustle, and kids talk amongst themselves, and like, and if they say something and I feel like I need to like interject and speak on it, then I will. And sometimes we do have talks like every Saturday. If we didn't cancel practice today, like we sit down and we talk. Like how's you doing? I got a kid right now that his dad just had a stroke, right? And so and he's still coming to practice playing basketball and all that, but he can't feel anything on his left side. So I spoke about like when my grandfather had a stroke, right? But it was on his right side, his dominant side, and we just talked about how we dealt with it, what we had to do, and how he could be there for his family and things like that. But you hear him talk about girls, and if I hear something like, "Oh, no, you don't want to do that," like, you know what I'm saying, or you hear him talking about maybe skipping class or something, like, I'd be like, yeah, when I was in school, man, they used to have people on the roof that would call the police and come pick you up. Like, so we just have, so like, that's not what you want to do. Or if you with friends and you in the car and somebody's like smoking or something like that, right? Like, that's not, you don't want to smoke in the car. Like, I tell them, like, I don't smoke, but I used to, I mean, back in college, or like, I haven't smoked since college. And then I'll tell them, like, don't be that guy like to get sucked in, because once those lights on behind you, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's as soon as those lights come on, like, you're going to jail, son. Like, because you're in the car, they're gonna smell it. Now you got to get pulled out the car. Now you're gonna get searched, and like, so this, like, I'm not telling you not to be you. You got to experience life for yourself, but like, let's be smart about it. the goal is to get through this adolescence, and still have like a prospect of a future.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get
don't scar it too early.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, don't scar it too early. Like, like even with the sex thing, strapping up, like, it's a million things out here you can get. Like, and like if you plan on having a family, having kids and doing all that, like you need to be safe now so that when it's time to do that, you're able to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to be one of those guys that, can't have sex with my wife because I got something, or I can't have kids because I had something, or all of that plays a factor, man. So you're real with them to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. You're real with them to a certain extent, but like you don't just offer that advice. It has to be relative. You know what I'm saying? It has to be something that they're going through or something I heard them talking about and stuff like that, man.
Gotcha. Yeah. I do have a question about that because this is something that I've seen, especially in. I don't want to put it on single mom. I'll just say kids, especially men, black males that don't have a male influence in a house, they're not receptive to hearing a conversation from a man, right? They're not used to hearing a man tell me what to do.
Oh, man. Ooh.
So how do you get through to those kids? Because the whole time it's only been me and mom, me and grandma, and my aunts, and all of this, and they tell me I'm the greatest and all this other stuff, and they've never had a man tell them no.
Probably not. They had much discipline either.
Right. So like with my players and like, so my players and my students are different, because like, we're part of this small group, this family, and you know what you're getting into before you get into it, like, or you wouldn't be a part of it, like, so you got to kind of like demand that respect, and so they know what they're getting into, and nothing's gonna happen that I don't allow to happen, right? And now with students that are just walking the halls and stuff, you have to relate. They have to know how much you care first, right? They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So you kind of like demand that respect in a sense, but they got to know that you care. Like I think I'm good at my job because I can relate to them. You know what I'm saying? I think, as like I was just you. You know what I'm saying? I was just you. And so they have to know that I know what I'm talking about, for them to even respect what you're saying. Like they have to know that, hey, yeah, Coach Good, he a real one. Like he went through it. Like, I ain't always been this teacher. You know what I'm saying? I used to be you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I had friends that, got in trouble, was in the bathroom smoking, got kicked out of school, or did all these crazy things, and and it's not like you're talking. Don't talk at them. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's probably the worst thing you could do. You know what I mean? Talk to them, and hopefully it clicks. But you do have some of those kids that's like, like, yo, you're not my daddy. Who you talking? You damn right I'm not your daddy. Because if you know what I'm saying, if I was your daddy, it would be different, right? So you do have those kids, but I think for the most part, I can get through to those kids that you were talking about, better than a lot of people in the building can, right? Yeah.
So I do got one question for you that we always ask all our guests. What advice would you give to a new father?
Be there. And it's really that simple, man.
Yeah.
90% of being a father is being there. 90% of it. And that is like, if you can help it, don't miss any moments. You know what I'm saying? Don't miss anything. And cherish those moments. But the main advice I can say is just be there, man. Be there.
That's important.
And it really is that simple, man.
Extremely important.
Yep, being there. Yep.
And so I hear in the voice of how passionate you are about your child, your son. But when your time is up and they lay you down, what do you want your legacy as a father to be?
Great. Is this the last question? That's a great last question, man. That's a great question. So,
I know we do this.
I'm a teacher, of course, as you know. Also a business owner, right? And one thing like me and my business partner always talk about is what's important to us. Like him, it's like money, being able to provide for his family, and generational wealth, which is cool, which I'm about as well. But more importantly for me is my legacy, right? When they do lay me down, I don't want them to be like, hey, this the guy that sold mattresses and he had a lot of money. Like I don't or this the guy that threw parties, and like I want to have my funeral in like Capel Arena. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so many people that I impacted that you gotta have it somewhere like that. So that's why I do what I do. So I want my legacy to be like he impacted a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like it was like so many people cared about him that they all showed up here today. Somebody passed, and like, and if you can't make the funeral, then you can't. I want to be one of those dudes like, nah, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go to his funeral. Like, he was that big in my life. So one of the most important things to me is legacy, and that's what I'm working towards now. Wow. So I want it to be like, I want my son to say, yo, my pops was important. Like, I want people to be able to tell him stories and kind of like that thing, like live forever. You know what I'm saying? You kind of want to like live forever. And you do that by, the people you impact and the deeds that you leave behind.
Right? You want people to talk over the allotted 2 minutes because they got so much to say.
Absolutely. Don't have no preacher up there talking about me that I don't know, that didn't know me, saying my name wrong. Like, no, we just gonna open the mic up and hey, everybody come up here and say what you want to say. And you know what I'm saying? So it's just be a celebration or like a recollection of the life that I had. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're talking about, you hitting on touching community, hitting on leaving that legacy of mentorship, of involvement, of presence.
Right.
And like all of the stuff that you've been talking about, man, it strikes like I can relate to a lot of the stuff you're saying. And so if I can, I know many people can.
Right.
And so for you to take the time out to sit down with us, we appreciate it, man.
No, I appreciate
it. It ain't no gnats in here, man. I don't know what.
Nah, it was some lint. I
don't know what.
I gotta look like our production chief and shit.
Over there, man.
My bad. You can edit that out, man. It was a piece of lint right here, man.
We ain't got no gnats in here.
No, this is a very nice building. Very nice building. These guys did it up, man. I appreciate you guys having me out and enjoyed it, man. Definitely. Like I told Olajuwon the other night, man, like I could talk about my son all day. Like we could be here all day, and I'm sure everybody could talk about their kids like all day, but I really could, man. So I enjoyed it for sure. Yeah,
appreciate it.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you for watching another episode of Just My Baby Daddy podcast. I know you liked what you saw. So what I need for you to do is go back and look at past episodes. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share our YouTube page, Just My Baby Daddy podcast. And you can follow us on all social media at Just My Baby Daddy Pod.